Today we are doing my yearly favorites, so I'm going to talk all about some of my favorite makeup products that launched in 2023. I like to do my favorites videos this way where I focus just on the products that launched that year just because there's so many new launches like literally every week. So I just like to focus on the best of the best in my opinion. And I gotta say a lot of these products have become everyday staples for me, so you've definitely seen me use a lot of these on camera. But I do gotta say the pile in front of me does seem kind of smaller than my previous year's favorites. And I think there's less products than usual because I really made it a point this year just to not be like always promoting and trying all the new stuff that launched, because myself I am trying to dwindle down my makeup collection into just products that I love and not opening all this new PR just because I got it or buying all these new things just because they're shiny and new. Do you know what I mean? I'm also not going to be talking about any eyeshadow palettes in this video because I did do a whole 2023 palette ranking, which was really fun, so I'll link that down below if you want to check it out. But let's dive into these products, and I'm gonna go in order of application. So when I do my makeup, I do my brows first, and one of my favorite brow products of 2023 is the Rare Beauty Clear Brow Gel. I'm a sucker for a clear brow gel, and I like one that has a pretty strong hold just because my brow hairs like to fall throughout the day, so I'm looking for a strong hold, and this product definitely delivers. I love the small wand that it has, and I can use this product one or two ways. I can kind of do more of that like laminated effect where when I start my makeup, I like run this throughout my entire eyebrow, and then I really like slick and press my brows down, and then I fill them in with a pen and a pencil. Or if I don't really want a super laminated lifted look that day and just want like a little bit of hold, I can just finish up my brows with this at the end and just nicely brush it through. So while this product does give me a strong hold to my brows, it doesn't give me like those like crispy hard eyebrows that just like feel really unnatural. It still makes my brows look pretty soft, but it gives me a good hold. Now I have two primers that I loved in 2023, and these are kind of the only two primers I use right now, and they're both from e.l.f. I'm gonna start with the Power Grip Primer, and I'm talking about this one because I believe the original one did launch in 2022, but this version with niacinamide did launch in 2023. Now honestly, I couldn't really tell you the difference between this one and the one with the, I think it's blue, right? All I know is that niacinamide is supposed to kind of help brighten your skin, so I don't really know if I notice a difference with that, but what I love this primer for is if I want my makeup to last all freaking day, I will use this. I'm sure you've seen so many people on YouTube use this, but this is the stickiest primer I have used, but in a good way. So like I said, I use this on days where I know I'm gonna be out and about all day, or it's like a special event or something and I need my makeup to last. So I'll just take a pump of this and then I'll just really press it into my skin, and then you wanna wait like a minute or so until you can feel your hands like literally sticking to your face. That's when you go in with your foundation and all your products after that. Now my other favorite primer of the year was the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. I am so happy that I love this because I kind of bought it not knowing much about it at the time. Last year I was kind of just on the lookout for a new pore filling primer. I didn't really have any good ones in my collection, and I've tried the Poreless Putty Primer, the one like the little pot that you scoop it out, and that one was okay. I just didn't really like sticking my fingers in the jar, but once I saw them come out with it in a squeezy tube, I was like, yes, I have to try this. This one has quickly become my everyday primer if I don't need something that's like super hydrating. If I need something hydrating, I'll use something else, but if my skin's feeling good that day, I'm moisturized, this is what I grab for. Simply put, it just lightly fills in my pores and gives me a nice smooth base to work with. It's so great for every day. Now I didn't try a lot of new foundations in 2023, but the one that I did try and really stands out to me is the Fenty Beauty Eaze Drop Stick. Now when I first bought this, I was kind of hesitant on whether or not I would like it because first of all, I do love the original Eaze Drop formula. That was one of my favorite products of, when did it launch? 2021, I want to say. So I knew I liked that formula, but I tend to not really love stick formulas, so I think I waited about a month or so after it launched to finally bite the bullet and try it because I was seeing pretty good reviews on it, and I am so happy that I bought it. I just find that it's a really good kind of lightweight, more hydrating foundation, which I'm really happy about to be in the stick formula because I find that a lot of stick formulas can be kind of drying. I think of like the Makeup Forever HD one that was in the stick. I remember that being pretty drying. But this one is so creamy, very easy to apply. I'll kind of do like 3 streaks on each cheek and then I'll blend it in with the brush. I even got my sister hooked on this foundation, and I say that because she's a teacher. So she's always just waking up the morning, slapping something on her face and running out the door. So she needed something really lightweight and simple, and this is perfect for her. I am kind of curious to see how long it's going to take me to finish this because when I roll it all the way down, it's about right there. So I feel like I've used quite a bit of product. So I'm curious to see how long this actually lasts, but it is definitely a favorite when I want a more lightweight kind of makeup day. The Natasha Denona High Glam Concealers. I feel like this is in everyone's favorites of 2023. I think Natasha crushed this formula and has like wiped all other concealers out of the question, you know what I mean? Ever since I got this concealer, this is the only product that I want to put under my eyes. I feel like I'm totally neglecting the rest of the concealers in my collection, but all I want to use is this. What makes it so special is that it has a serum-like consistency to it, which makes it really lightweight under your eyes, but it has a full coverage. And that is exactly what I want in a concealer, which is why it is my favorite of the year. Now, they do claim that this concealer is crease proof, but I don't think any concealer is crease proof, because if you have creases or any kind of fine lines or wrinkles under your eyes, it's gonna crease no matter what. The best thing I can say for that is just use a small amount of product. You really don't need much of this. You don't gotta do that whole concealer thing we were doing years ago. You just need a little dab right there in the darkest part and you're good to go. Now, speaking of creasing concealer, I wanna talk about my favorite translucent powder of the year, and that is the Lunar Beauty one. Now, I haven't tried much from Lunar Beauty. I kind of bought this because I was in the market for a new translucent powder and I saw a couple TikToks about it and I was like, sure, let me try it, and I fell in love with it. And I specifically love this for setting under my eyes, and this does help make my concealer crease proof, because you gotta set the concealer and set the creamy products to make it not crease, you know? So for the past couple months that I've been using this, I would use it with some kind of velour puff. It did come with a little puff in it, but I didn't love the shape of it. It's a little bit more round where I want more of like the pointed tip. These are just the ones from Amazon. But what I do is I just press the puff into here, get it loaded up with powder, and then the key is to kind of get off some of that excess powder and get it nice and smooth on the puff. So I'll kind of smooth it on the back of my hand, and then I'll go in and just kind of press and roll under my eyes, and it sets my creases beautifully. But on some days where I kind of just want a softer under eye and I don't want to be like completely set, I'll just use kind of a packing brush like this. This is a Refer 36, and I'll just press it right into my under eye creases. Honestly, I'm feeling a little glowy right now, especially like right here, so let's try some out. I'm gonna take a little bit on a brush like this and kind of set this down. Honestly, my skin has been extra dry recently because I just started tretinoin, so I'm trying not to use so much powder. You see that difference? And what I really love about this powder is the feeling of it. If you pick up this powder, it literally feels like nothing in between your fingers. But if I were to pick up another powder, let's say like this is the Hourglass one, pretty low on it, like this feels like flour to me. Like I can feel it on my fingers, but the Lunar Beauty one, I swear, is like weightless. Now I have two blushes that I want to talk about that were favorites that launched in 2023. Let's start with the cheaper one. So we have the Essence Pure Nude Baked Blushes. These are only $6. I learned that I think I'm a big fan of this kind of baked blush formula. It is just so pretty and has a little bit of a soft, glowy sheen to it, but it's not like a shimmery blush, you know? And I remember the first time I used these, I thought they were so similar to the Hourglass blushes, and like those ones are pricey. My most used shade out of all these is Cool Coral. You can tell by all of the writing being rubbed off. My second most used one is Shimmery Rose, kind of more of a neutral pink, but I used a different one today and I was kind of scared of this color for a while because in the pan, it's a little spooky looking. It looks kind of purpley mauve, right? This is Goldie Cassis, and I thought this would make me look kind of dead in a way, but this one I found was really, really pigmented compared to the others, and it just kind of gives more of a cool tone blush look is kind of what I was looking for today, and I really, really like it. So I highly recommend these blushes. And then the other blush formula that I fell in love with in 2023 are the Too Faced Cloud Crush blushes. Now I have two shades of these and I use them quite a bit. This one is Velvet Crush, kind of more of a softer, slightly mauve-y shade. And then this one is Golden Hour that I love for more of a brighter pink blush look. And these ones do have a slight scent to them, but it's nothing like overwhelming and that would linger on your face. They claim that this is a blurring blush formula, and I have to agree with it. Whenever I use these, my cheeks look so dang smooth. I told you guys this was a small list, like we were almost at the end here. I have to give a shout out to the Tower 28 Make Waves mascara, specifically in the brown shade Drift. So I do think the original black formula came out in 2022, but I was obsessed with that when it came out, and then when they finally launched the brown, oh, this is the most perfect brown shade of mascara. I did do a little short with this one, so I'll link that down below if you want to see like a really close-up view of it. But if I'm I'm having a day where I want my lashes to look perfect, I will use this mascara. And when I'm kind of learning what I look for in a mascara is separation. I don't like a clumpy, thick lash. I want my lashes to be separated, and this does that. It does have more of a rubbery silicone wand, but I also love the shape of it too, where it has a very, very slight curve to it, so it's really easy to kind of get in there and grab every single lash. And while this mascara isn't like a tubing formula or anything, I don't get any flakes or smudges throughout the day, so that is a huge plus, and I love it. I do think they have minis of this mascara too if you've been wanting to check it out. I always love trying a mini mascara before I commit to the full size. Now, my favorite lipstick that launched in 2023 are the Lawless Forget the Filler lipsticks, specifically in the shade Wedding Day. You guys have seen me wear this lipstick so much, it has become one of my go-to nude lipsticks. And it's kind of more of a slightly cool toned pinky nude. It's not a warm pink, it does lean on the cool side, and I love that. Now, don't let the name fool you, it is a pretty long name. So it's called the Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Satin Cream Lipstick. Now, I don't really notice any lip plumping qualities in this, which I kind of like in a lipstick. I don't need to have that tingling feeling with the lipstick. I'd rather have that in like a lip gloss or lip oil or something. And I've had a couple people ask me that, so I don't get any tingling sensation with this, but I would agree with the line smoothing claim. I do think it makes my lips look nice and smooth when I wear it, but I will say I do have lip filler as well. Now, I want to wrap this up with my favorite perfume of 2023, and 2023 is when I discovered Kayali perfumes, which is under the Huda Beauty brand, and I have become obsessed with all of the Kayali perfumes that I've tried. I first bought a little discovery set that had, I want to say, like 8 minis, and I think I loved all of them except one maybe. So after I tried that discovery set, I wanted to try some more, and around the mid-year they launched the Yum pistachio perfume that was all over the place, and I waited a couple months to try it because I was like, I don't want to buy it right away, like let me wait to see some reviews and, you know, kind of use what I already have. So I ended up buying the smaller version of Yum. How big is this? 10 milliliters. And it's still like in a cute little bottle. It is a spray bottle, which I love. I don't like those little dabby ones, and this perfume is so freaking good. I need to pull up the notes because I cannot do perfume notes. That's Lunar Beauty's job, not mine. So this perfume is in the warm and spicy fragrance family, and the keynotes are pistachio gelato, cotton candy, and whipped cream. So I didn't buy this at first because that just sounded really, really sweet to me, but turns out I love sweet. I actually don't have any perfume on right now, so let me just do a little dab here. And my boyfriend loves this perfume on me, so that's always a plus. So like I said, that felt like a pretty short list of favorites, but a lot of these products have become everyday staples for me. I would love to know what your favorite products of 2023 are. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.